The political right is once again turning its fire inward, and this time it's Alex Jones versus Tim Pool. What began with Alex claiming that an X algorithm change destroyed nearly 90% of his live engagement has quickly become a much bigger fight involving Donald Trump, Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, and whether Alex's audience is abandoning him because he has fundamentally changed. Tim says you can't build an audience supporting one message for 10 years, suddenly start serving something completely different, and then blame the algorithm when people leave. Alex is now firing back and questioning Tim's allegiances. But this feud exposes something bigger. Why does every disagreement on the right immediately become personal? Is this honest accountability? Or has conservative media become a competition to tear everyone else down before they can tear you down? So both of these guys I love. I'm not afraid to say that, broosphere. I love these guys. Alex Jones has been like the GOAT forever. Tim Pool, he became like major, probably 2019 to that, around that. That's when I kind of fell into him. When he had the conversation with the Twitter like CEO, the owner, Jack Dorsey, and Joe Rogan. That was when I stumbled upon Tim Pool. So I respect both of these guys bigly. And it's just so painful to see these guys at each other's throats. Tim's coming into this kind of just nonchalant. I'm just going to offer up my opinion of why your viewership might have dropped. Alex Jones immediately bites his head off and is just nonstop, just video after video within like the last 2 hours of why he is disgusted with Tim Pool. I know he's keeping it kind of low key. He's building everyone up what he's going to release tomorrow on his show regarding Tim Pool and his secret meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu. Israel. It's all about. It's what it's all about. Alex Jones, I would say he has changed. He has flipped a little bit. I don't recognize the man, but I still respect him. He's gone through a lot, but we're going to take a look at a couple different things. We're going to bounce around. It's going to be low key tonight. I'm going to show this is where it kind of all started, where this was yesterday. Alex Jones just like sounding the alarm. Elon Musk, my viewership is dropped 90%, and just calls Elon Musk out. And then they fixed the glitch.
There is massive censorship happening on X right now. Whether it's intentional or by accident, the effect is a wet blanket across the board. Starting Friday afternoon, they changed their rules and algorithm. They claim to allow external links, not penalize people. Great, but that's not what this is. It is taking us from hundreds of thousands or millions of live viewers to a couple thousand. Most people that are flooding us with private messages and emails say they can't even click on it and see the feed, and they can't share it. So whatever's going on is devastating for organic reach from organic.
I mean, right there, just at least that alone, Alex Jones, he definitely has an audience, and I don't think it's just something like that he's just have everybody's dropping off watching him. Because even if you are not of the opinion where Alex is not where you want him to be, because he's not the same guy anymore, right? But I would still tune into Alex Jones and watch whatever he's going to talk about. I'm not going to leave the camp. He's got so much credibility, decades of credibility, that not his audience isn't going to leave. But everybody was piling on today. Cat Turd was. Tim Pool jumped in. It was pretty light. It was not. That's why it's like Alex will rip your head off at this time. I think what changed him was the whole Donald Trump. When Donald Trump turned on him and blasted him, when he did also, who was it? Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, and lumped him in with that. Alex just said, just like Tucker Carlson, he's went off on the deep end. He's not the same guy anymore. Like a screw has been just lodged or just taken out and hit what is, I think, deep in his heart, he's letting it all hang out, letting it all come out. He's not holding anything back. If anyone says anything about him, he's going to rip your head off. And that's kind of what's happening to Tim Pool right now. But this is kind of where it gets a little bit interesting, because immediately, this was video upon video, but Alex Jones ended the night, and I don't know if he's still going to throw out some more, but he's going to expose Tim Pool regarding some secret meeting he had with Benjamin Netanyahu.
I'm going to shoot one more report on Tim Pool and a secret meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu that he admitted he had. He said he's going to keep secret. And it's just this: we cannot tolerate Americans meeting secretly with a foreign government that's openly trying to manipulate our foreign policy and primarying members of Congress. And
so at least for me, I've been like, Alex Jones bringing up this stuff and questioning Tim Pool, saying, are you taking money from the Israelis or some other foreign government out there? I've honestly been like questioning that myself, not about Tim Pool necessarily, but about Alex. Like, why the sudden, like drastic shift? He is different, completely different. And I don't think he's like a clone or something like that, or somebody's wearing a bodysuit. I'm not there yet, but it has been weird. It has been extremely weird watching him, because I've over the years, like he held back, and like the whole thing has just been flipped about, like he's questioning Trump, saying that Trump is getting us into like these devastating wars over there, and like we're colluding with Israel. That is the talking point every day now. It's like everybody's like obsessed with Israel. Israel is like the boogeyman behind every corner. The Jews are behind everything. I don't care. Like, I'm not going to be a person like, I respect like a lot of the things that Israel does. And I think that people are just eating it up like hook, line, and sinker about what they do. Like and I'm not just an Israeli head. I'm not being paid by Israel. This is of myself. And if I ever was approached by somebody in the Israeli government or somebody that wants to like kind of like, hey, can you just do these talking points or just spread this information? I'm going to expose it. I'm going to say, yeah, somebody approached me and wanted me to say this. Because right now, the popularity is not on Israel's side, and that's what I don't care about. I don't care about Israel. They're not a perfect nation, but even just pragmatically, it is smart for us to be allied with them. Like, I mean, I'm just thinking about just in general over there in the Middle East, how much control that they have, how much power and domination that they have, like in that sphere of the world that is like heavily just like, that's where we get most of our oil and energy and all the reserves that like keep this global economy like flowing. It would be smart to have a good ally over there, but just everybody has just been completely brainwashed to thinking that they're doing genocide over there. They're like committing these mass atrocities, and they're the ones that are behind everything. They're the ones that are making running our politics over here and controlling so many people in Congress and all that. That might be happening. I don't doubt it is, but I'm just thinking of it from a pragmatic level. Like, this is where it's like hyperdrive of everybody hates Israel. That is like everybody is just disgusted with them. Whatever they do is evil. And that's why it's like, I was never like fully in like, oh, Israel. But like just the brain rot that people have that's what they're seeing behind everything. Like, I'm going to lean into it and just like, it's not the popular thing to do. So I don't care about that. I'm going to call balls and strikes. And I know a lot of people don't want to. They're going to grift. This is the stupid grift that everybody's just embracing and running with, destroying your own credibility. The things like Tucker Carlson, that's probably who he is. Like, he has the questions about it because it does seem like it's just like a pride thing. Oh, you think that you're the chosen nation. You feel like you're closer to God because of some covenant or relationship you have, and I'm just a stupid goy, and it's just this jealousy where it's so flipped on its head. It's so stupid. Like, when in reality, like the Goyim, the Gentiles, have a unique relationship with God through the Messiah that Israel does not have at this time, and our whole purpose and point is to push Israel to embracing the Messiah. But it's like I just think that these snakes have just infiltrated like the Western world, and like they had for a long time infiltrated obviously the Middle Eastern world, the surrounding nations around Israel, and then Europe and in the Western world over there. But now it's coming into America. And people just think, oh, it's just you're just an Israeli propagandist. That's all you're doing. No. I mean, I think the people that are just sane and understand that Israel, it's a good thing just in general to have a good relationship with them. They have such power, such influence over there. And I mean, they might be doing their own thing of like a Middle Eastern hegemon. That's what they want to build, the Greater Israel Project. Okay. But wouldn't it be smarter if these things are inevitable and they're going to happen and it's looking more and more? I mean, just from that perspective, like that vantage point, it would be smart for like if they are going to have this dominance over the Middle East, wouldn't that be smart for America to be in good relationship with them? Obviously, we're much more powerful than them, and they're standing based on our like what we allow them, what we've given them. But really, I mean, they have a different tie to us than any other country could ever have. Because it's never been about, oh, that government over there is pristine, perfect. I love Benjamin Netanyahu. These things are just going to come and go. It's the symbolism. It's the reality, what they emblematic represent. They are who we thought they were. They are who we thought they were. And that's what everybody's going to find out. Everybody is going to eventually recognize and realize that they are who we thought they were. And who the grifters, the Ian Carrolls, the Candace Owens, I wouldn't even call it really Tucker Carlson. I think he genuinely believes it. He's just upset because he has just a miscalculated understanding of who Israel is. They're not belittling you just because they have a responsibility, a certain rank and covenant with God doesn't mean that the goyim are any less. We serve a different purpose. And that's what the church is missing totally. There's like from different points. God has a relationship with Israel. God has a relationship with the Gentiles. And that's like the beauty of what God's whole overall consummating plan is that the barrier is brought down and we have peace between us. And I know it's like, oh, that's just Looney Tunes. That's so corny and so stupid. And it's like, how have you been brainwashed so much? And I know people say the exact same thing about me. You've been brainwashed to be this Israeli talking head or whatever. If Israel starts paying me, or if anyone even approaches me, and I'm good. Don't nobody offer me anything. I don't care. I'm going to say what I think and what I believe is the truth. And this is what I believe. And obviously it's what I believe because it goes counterintuitive to anyone actually building a platform at this time, because you think YouTube's going to boost you for spreading these things or just telling the objective reality of that it is a good thing for the U.S. to have a good relationship with Israel. I mean, throw out that you just think that they're, I don't know, that they're controlling us, that we're coupled with them, and they're just like the neck turning the U.S. wherever they want us to go. You know, they're the ones who invaded Iran so that they could get us to invade Iran. Okay, obviously, Donald Trump is doing what Donald Trump wants to do. He's not blackmailed. He's not controlled by Israel. So there might be a reason why he is doing these things. He's doing it from a practical nature of the good of America. Us to change the whole global infrastructure of where energy comes from and have U.S. dominance over there. And the main talking point is he doesn't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon, which, I mean, if they have a nuclear weapon, it would probably be bad. But I mean, because it's not North Korea. It's not some like Russia or China or even Israel having these nukes. Like Islam is the danger of the West. And the people that are like of the new Nick Fuentes vibe, which I like Nick Fuentes. That's why I'm like, I don't fit into any box because I agree with the things with Nick Fuentes, but then I agree with the things with Israel in certain aspects of it. I don't fit into anything so you're going to get the objective reality. And this is what I think is the reality. This is the truth. But it's like, I'm so flabbergasted, apoplectic that people do not see these things. It's like, it's frustrating to me. Like when you get on YouTube or you get on X, it's just like, the Jews did it. Israel did it. Okay, like, that's a funny thing you said. That was hilarious. I'm just laughing up my head off. I can't even take it. But do you know what you're actually saying? Do you know? And even if you're just trying to be cool or whatever, I mean, isn't it pretty badass that like Israel can do the things that it can do? That they have such power and influence? If they do have such power and influence, wouldn't that be kind of badass itself? I would think so. But I mean, I'm not even going there. I never was ever really clued in or like taken by like the Israel like thing until like, probably a year or so ago. Like it was really that like Nick Fuentes even made me like aware of how like influential and impactful. I thought Israel was a thing of the past. They're a relic of the past, but like no, they're I guess heavily influenced now. Like they have such power now. It's not just that they're in from 2,000 years ago and that's when they had the power. No, I guess they have had it. And it's always this thing that Jews want to disconnect themselves with Israel. Oh, I have nothing to do with Israel. Or then some Jewish people embrace it, and Jews can do their own thing. But it is this psychosis that people are just fed that you got to distinguish between Israel and Jewish people. Israel and Jewish people. And like that's what it always is. Like, okay, you can try to make that seem a thing. You can try, like, I know Israel is just like this nation state, but like imagine like it just any racial nationality, racial like ethnic group, like so say like blacks got together and they went and created Blackland, or whites got together and they created White Land, or whatever, whatever skin color you want to throw in together. We're all humans at the end of the day, but like whatever that is, and then so they create that, but then there's some over here that don't want to have anything to do with it. They're just keeping it at arm's length. Like that's the representation and the statehood of your whole religion, ethnicity, culture. That's what like the epitome, the embodiment of it. Even if some of the Jews don't want to accept it, in their heart of hearts they do. That's why if stuff hits the fan, the people are going to run to each other that have closest commonality as opposed to anyone else. People are going to run to each other, like that share your values, your culture. And I think people that are the Jewish people are going to run together. If stuff hits the fan, they're going to run together. And same with like people of Western values, the whole or Christian values or whatever. We're going to run together. So it's like to think that this thing that like you can be. Some people you can criticize Israel, but you're not criticizing Jewish people or vice versa. That's just like nonsense. When you really get down to it, you can try to say, just so you can like say like terrible things about Israel and say, I'm not saying anything about Jewish people. I'm not saying anything at all. And just play dumb or whatever. Some people, I think when you engage with it, you really like lean in. I think it's the people that are open and honest about these things that are the realest people. We can talk about these things. But what's happening on the right now is this is what Alex Jones, this is what everybody's doing. Tim Pool, he might have had a conversation with Benjamin Netanyahu. He does often come across as that he spouts the Trumpian line. He's supporting the president because he wants the right to flourish. He wants the right. He's almost trying to bring that coalition of everybody come together. We don't need to be separated. Like there's enough problems in themselves of like the left, what they want to do to us. We don't need to add to it by just like, it's not the criticizing someone else, but it's by being offended by being criticized. Like you're so offended. And then like, it doesn't seem like you're genuinely responding to somebody. It's just you're blowing up just because you're pissed off that they made you look kind of nutty or just called you. Like this was a simple remark that Tim Pool brought to Alex Jones. He just even called him on it. And Alex Jones just went off the rails on Tim Pool. Like, and they're supposed to be friends, And I just think that what has happened, and I want to actually take a look at this. This is the whole Charlie Kirk trial, and that's coming up, and what Candace Owens has done. She's just like eviscerated the right, eviscerated any like people of our nation coming together and having Charlie Kirk's assassination being something that could bring down barriers between like people. Hassan Piker, who is a leftist extremist dude, he voiced what is the reality and just saying how much he loves Candace based on how much she has destroyed the right. I want to take a look at this because this is sad, but also very eye-opening.
I wouldn't say that I'm on her side on this issue. Let's just say I'm spiritually on the sidelines on this. Because, on the one hand, my brain tells me something entirely different than what my heart is championing, if you know what I mean, okay? If you're picking up what I'm putting down. On the one hand, I want to be logical. I want to be rational about this case. But then on the other hand, I'm thinking to myself, I can't speak out against this queen. I can't speak out against this queen because this is a queen that successfully and single-handedly undermined the Republican initiative to martyrize Charlie Kirk and use that example to crack down on political dissent.
So she completely just destroyed, and it's hard not to believe that she herself is being boosted. And like this, if this is her own doing, like she was that pissed off about TPUSA, like someone like cross-eyed her in the hallway or something like that, that she was that mad that she wanted to destroy them at all costs, bring down Erica Kirk, just tarnish that name, that company, everything that Charlie Kirk built, at the same time while saying that she loves Charlie Kirk, was his friend. It's nonsense. But this is showing that even the left is eating all of this up, that they are loving it. They know that the stupid talking points that Israel was behind Charlie Kirk's assassination, that Erica Kirk, TPOSA were somehow complicit in all this nonsense, when really it was just radical leftist lunatics, probably multiple people, but the shooter being Tyler Robinson. But that, not realizing that's the enemy. But now it's like everyone on the right is like there's nothing keeping us together. There's nothing holding us intact. Because, and I would say primarily because of Candace Owens. And we can see that Hassan Piker, who knows it's nonsense, he even in his head, he can't agree with that anything that she's saying is true, but he loves it. It's like if you see your opponent on the other side just fighting each other, and you're just eating it up. And that's what the left is doing. They're like, that's why I guess this is how the pendulum goes. There's going to be this reckoning that's going to happen. The left is going to sweep through and take over. And then the right will eventually sweep through and take back over. But it's like the left, I don't think, is going to take the boot off the neck. And that's why people that are critical of Donald Trump and what he's doing and saying he's doing something, I say he's not doing enough. I say he needs to take it to the next level, to be even more extreme on the things he wants to accomplish. Because when he opens up the door, he has opened up the door to a lot of possible censorship, totalitarianism coming through. I'd much rather it be somebody that is carrying the mantle for Christianity, Judeo-Christian vibes, as opposed to Massachusetts, we're going to abort children up to 9 months. Abortion in general in itself is awful. But that just shows you the radical lunatic left that are just chomping at the bit to take that spot again, to get that pendulum back on their side, and they will eviscerate us. There will be no more freedom of speech. There will be no more freedom of press. It will be like a statist government, but in a bad way. I'm okay if we have it in a good way of a government that comes in and is for Christian values, for good values, for American values, things we were built on. But it's like the right has been so pansy for so many years that they just bend over and take it as opposed to fighting back. We need to fight back. And to say we need to just concentrate on this hemisphere over here. This is like a world that the United States can have dominance in. And we need to have dominance in. If we want this to be a better world, in this time, I know that you got to separate. This isn't just We're not going to usher in the kingdom of God by just, by the sword and by taking over land and all that. I know that, obviously. But it's like, at what point, if the Muslim invaders are coming at you with a sword and wanting to just take you over, when do you want to fight back? When they've broken through the barriers, they're inside, and then you're going to like collude together and say, we need to kind of work together and figure this out while the bad stuff is happening to us, to us and to the, ladies and all that, the things that they will do. And it's like, and it's not to say like, oh, like the good Muslims will do that, but like the good Muslims will just acquiesce to whatever the radical lunatic terrorist Muslims will do. You don't really see, like, that's why we have to call these things out. We have to it's not just to say, just to call them out for nothing's sake, but it's like, that is what is going to eventually eclipse us and take over us if we don't have a posture of we're going to fight back. We have to fight back. We can't just take it lying down. And that's why I say bringing the fight to them over there instead of having it on our shores. Because that's what's going to happen. It did expose a lot of like weakness on the United States, that we did not have as much power as we thought we did, and what has happened with this Iran war. So it is a matter of time. It does feel like that Donald Trump is going to unleash hell, whether it's just ground invasion or it's much more heavy bombs or whatever over there in Iran. But it is growing in a way that it can be scary. But I mean, at the end of the day, all of this is God's plan. You cannot get away from it. And that's what I always think about. Like, no matter if it's good, if it's bad, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it does, like, it feel like on our side, but really at the end of the day, it's God is the one controlling everything. Every which way we go, we think, oh, we're gonna make a difference by just shouting and fighting back and tweeting. We're gonna make sure we tweet or whatever, say the right thing, get that engagement or whatever. But at the end of the day, like, we can have peace, because if we're on the right side of history, we're on the right side of eternity. If we are standing for Christ, and I know Jesus didn't say to go anywhere with the sword, but there is still a sense where we have governments, we have nations that are there to execute and use the sword to protect its citizens. And I think that that's what our government is doing. It's not to say that every random person out there that calls himself a Christian, that they can go start taking on, some other, just breaking the line and just and moving forward or whatever. Let our government do it and support our government. What they're doing over there is they're bringing the fight to them so that the fight isn't happening over here. Because if Iran does have a nuke, what do you think they're going to do with it? They're not just going to lay low and play. Like, they're going to start dropping them. They will. They're not even just like the more sensible Muslims. They are the ones that want to usher in the eschaton by their bring in the Mahdi, or and who their end time scenario. That's what they want to do. So at the end of the day, I think we win. If you are in Christ, you win because Christ won. So I would just say, like, whatever we're going through, whatever's going to happen at the end of the day, we can have peace in it. But I would just say, if we want to last at the United States, if we want it to be a good nation that has Christian values, we need to fight back, through politics, I guess. Because that's the only way that is going to just keep that wave from just overtaking us. But Tim Pool and Alex Jones, their whole fight, this whole bickering back at each other, it's just the ongoing drama that happens in podcastian land, in this world, that just you got nothing good to talk about, so you just gotta fight each other. You gotta rag on someone and then just be overly offended when they rag on you. Because I guess it's eating up the algorithm. But I mean, eventually this stupid algorithm stuff is going to have its own way. It's going to fizzle. And I think I would rather stand for truth as opposed to just saying something bombastic and just lopping in a grenade at someone so I can get the views, so I can get the attention. I'd rather stand for truth. And I care more about that. And I bet you do as well. All right. So ultimately, this isn't about choosing Team Alex or Team Tim. It's about what happens when political commentary becomes driven by loyalty tests, personal attacks, and engagement instead of honest disagreement. People should be able to criticize Trump, Israel, Alex Jones, or Tim Pool without every disagreement becoming a declaration of war. But if everyone keeps attacking their own side for attention and then acting personally wounded when the criticism comes back, the right will eventually destroy more of itself than its political opponents ever could. Let me know who you think is right in this feud, or whether both of them are contributing to the problem. All right, if you enjoyed this conversation, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.